What's up, you guys? Thank you for clicking on this video. So as you can tell by the title, we have some, I don't mean to sound cliche, but some really bombshell news to cover today. So like a day or two ago, Silver Optimus posted on the boards, and if you don't know who that is, he's very credible. He's had a lot of info on stuff with Transformers Media, specifically the movies, over the last, over 10 years now. And he posted this for Reactivate. He says here, and I quote, "Sad ending to what essentially started as a scam. Lee Yu only wanted Hasbro's property license so that they could have a glowing portfolio to increase the value when selling the company to Tencent. Alexa XU, sorry for pronouncing that wrong, took that money and walked out." And then he linked one of the articles that TFW posted years ago about how they were walking out of the project. And then he goes on to say here, and I quote, "But the saddest part is that both Liu and Splash Damage had to lay off employees due to cutting the project midway. Mad props to that one investigative journalist, Josh Yee, who uncovered the shady nature of this game since the very beginning." Oh boy. So I remember seeing this news a while ago. This was first reported in 2021 that they were leaving Reactivate behind and stuff like that, and I didn't know what to think of it back then. But now we obviously know the full details of it all, and honestly, this is pretty freaking scummy. And it really shed some light on some of the craziness that went behind the scenes on this development of Reactivate here, that led to some of the reasons of this game being in development for so long and it being eventually canceled that we saw a few days ago. I don't know how, it's just crazy to me how these rich people get caught up in this stuff like this, and, they just expect it to not come out at all. Like, we've seen time and time again how these millionaires, billionaires, whatever the case is, they just get caught up into these things that are just so ridiculous. Like, you already have all this money. Why are you being so greedy? Like, just naturally put a glowing portfolio for yourself over the years, work on these projects, and don't try and cheat your way through it. And I don't know, it's just crazy how this happened, guys, honestly. And in other news, so Simon Furman went onto his Instagram page and he confirmed something that I'm pretty sure none of us really knew was happening with the development of Reactivate. He says here on his Instagram post, and I quote, "I've been contributing story, lore, character work, and dialogue to the project alongside amazing teams and creatives. It could and should have been the best TF game ever. Very sad." So Simon Furman was working on characters and story for Reactivate. That is insane. I don't think we got word on that at all. And if you guys don't know who Simon Furman is, he was very integral into the development of the original Transformers G1 lore back in the 80s and 90s. He worked on the comics and stuff. He's also done recent work in the 2000s on IDW Comics, and I believe maybe Dreamwave as well, and some other things that I'm probably forgetting. But this is some pretty big news. I mean, Simon Furman, who's like a Transformers lore OG at this point, he worked on this game, so maybe the story elements and these character elements were really going to be cool, but obviously we have no idea since the game isn't coming out, unfortunately. And the last piece of news I want to cover in this video is Hasbro Pulse's Asia portion is going to be shutting down. Now, let's not go too far here and say this is a sign that Hasbro is shutting down, Transformers is doing terrible, and they're going to be dying out in a few years. I wouldn't go that far. So people who live in China and those surrounding Asian countries who deal with Hasbro Pulse Asia have been posting online since this happened, and they've been bringing up some examples as to why this whole thing here was canceled and it's shutting down. And, it's basically just already a market that's overtaken by regular retailers, and Hasbro Pulse Asia is overcharging for their stuff about 17%, I think I saw. So just taking all that into consideration, there's already a bunch of established retailers in those areas, specifically China and Japan and stuff. So it just makes sense that Hasbro Pulse Asia would just start drowning and not really making enough sales to keep afloat over there. To add on to it, they're basically overcharging for their own product when people at other retailers in those areas can get them for way cheaper. So you couple both of those reasonings together, it just makes sense that it's shutting down. It really has nothing to do with the brand dying or Hasbro itself dying. It's just a simple case of Hasbro making a mistake and, them not really reading the room with the market over there. So I'm not really surprised by this. Emails were sent out to people giving a little statement that you guys can read. That'll probably flash in the video. It says here, from 10 January 2025 at 9 a.m. GMT8, Hasbro Pulse Asia will continue to take orders on pre-order items until 12 January 2025 at 11:59 GMT8, and orders on in-stock items until 7 February 2025 at 11:59 GMT. Thereafter, customers will not be able to place any more orders. So there you have it. That's the time frame that people over there have been given to place their orders in and stuff. So again, I'm not really surprised by this, given the news that people have posted living in those areas have stated as to why this is shutting down. So I wouldn't panic about this, guys. It's just business as usual. They had to do what they had to do to cut their losses and, just keep things afloat over there. So I wouldn't look at this as a crazy sign of things going haywire at Hasbro and Transformers, but I mean, it was a bad business decision on their part. But other than that, I mean, what a crazy, eclectic piece of news we've had to cover in the last week, guys. Reactivate being a scam, essentially, from the original companies and owner. And Simon Furman was working on the project when we didn't even know about that before, which would have been kind of crazy to see what the story was instead of just getting tidbits leaked over the last few years. And of course, this thing here with Hasbro Pulse Asia, yes, it sucks. It's not a good look. But at the same time, when you bring things to light and examples that people have been posting online, it makes sense, and it's not really a sign of the end of things for Hasbro and Transformers. I just want to throw that out there because people have already been all doom and gloom and speculating and fear-mongering that this is a part of the end. Reactivate got canceled, and now Hasbro Pulse Asia is going under. Things are not looking good for Hasbro. It's just some things that they had to do in business. So, but yeah, guys, let me know down in the comments below. How do y'all feel about the piece of news about Reactivate essentially being a scam to start off with, just to boost up the portfolio of a company, which is absolutely insane? And how do you guys feel about Hasbro Pulse Asia shutting down? All my social medias are linked down below, including my email if you guys want to hit me up about business inquiries or if you want to message me about whatever, or if you want to commission a diorama from me, because I make dioramas for people for their stop motions, photography, or your regular display shelves in your homes. You can either hit me up on any of my social media accounts or just email me and we can work out a deal. But yeah, guys, thank you for watching this video. Catch y'all in the next one. Bye!